So yeah, so let me ask you this. So
Yeah,
with everything that we do know now,
yeah.
what do you think a man needs to do in order to improve himself? What do you think where you think he can start at?
I honestly, it's so much stuff, man, like, that you can improve on.
Yeah,
I mean, the list goes on,
yeah,
especially as a man. Like, every day should be a form of improvement. I
yeah,
don't care what it is,
yeah,
but I think the first thing is your faith. Growing up, as a Christian,
yeah,
I think every time I've ever needed to improve myself at my lowest point, I fell
yeah,
back on my faith and,
yeah, yeah,
I kind of implemented God a lot
yeah,
into my life. I think another one is family. I
yeah,
think, as much as people want to be, lone wolves and,
yeah,
do their own thing, I think family is as much of as importance to, friendships
yeah,
or
yeah,
as important
yeah,
to social life or as important to networking. I think having a good structure I'll be the first to say I know a lot of people don't come from a good family
yeah,
structure.
yeah, yeah. That's what it.
So
Yeah,
it may be
yeah,
it
yeah,
may be hard for them to kind of fall back on family, but
yeah,
if you do come from that,
yeah.
don't shy away from it because
Mhm.
you're now interacting with people in life that don't have that same structure. If you have a good relationship with your family, I think you need to kind of because those are the people that are going to care about you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One hundred
When
percent.
you're sick,
The
when
right
you're
family, like you say.
huh?
The right
The
family.
right family.
Yeah,
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 the
yeah,
right
yeah,
family.
yeah,
The
yeah,
right
yeah,
family.
yeah, yeah,
Exactly. If
yeah,
you're down and out, I mean, they'll pick you back up
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
they'll try to get you on the right way to
yeah,
go.
yeah,
Um, as far as other improvements, I mean, I think mental health is big.
yeah,
And I know that's kind of a newer thing in our community in a
yeah,
sense, but I mean, everybody goes through adversities and
yeah,
everybody goes through obstacles. And I think, at a young age is kind of instilled that we may go through it more, whether it be black or brown or whatever the
yeah, yeah,
case may
yeah, yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I think it's important for you to make sure that you have mental clarity in
Yeah,
whatever you do. That's a good way to improve as well.
yeah,
And I think surrounding yourself with good people, people that
yeah,
are like-minded, people that
yeah,
have I'm not going to say the same goals because it's always great to find someone that has their separate goals
yeah,
and
yeah,
you have yours and it's
yeah,
like, well, that's dope that you have
yeah,
this going
yeah,
for
yeah,
yourself and I got this going for myself, but at least we got some shit
yeah,
going,
yeah, yeah, yeah. We all got
because
something
I,
going.
I
Yeah,
think a lot of people fall into the trap of surrounding themselves with where people don't have goals in general.
yeah,
Now, it's a difference between being connected with an individual that has like-minded goals,
yeah,
which that's a ultimate positive. It's
yeah,
rare too,
yeah,
especially if it's a big group of people or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
But I think surrounding yourself with those type of people and implementing faith in your life, and I think being able to fall back on family and
yeah,
seeking whatever kind of guidance you may need, whether it's from a counselor or this or that.
yeah,
I think those are all positive things that a man can do to improve that a lot of men shy away from.
yeah,
I think a lot of men shy away from the family aspect because it's like, nigga, I want to do it on my own.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like I
yeah,
got
yeah,
this, and which is just part of us.
yeah,
I think a
yeah,
lot of people shy away from God because too, it's like well, where were you when I went through this
yeah,
situation?
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
weren't there.
yeah,
Why did this happen to me?
yeah,
A lot of people shy away from, the mental aspect of it because hell, it's never been present in the first
yeah,
place.
yeah, yeah,
So I think a lot of those things are great for a man to implement in his life for
yeah,
improvement.
yeah,
As far as reading knowledge,
yeah.
educating, self education,
Right,
whatever the
yeah.
case may be.
Just continue to improve that way.
Yeah, yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
no. You right, bro. You right. I mean, I always tell everybody faith. That's why I draw down to first and foremost. Obviously, family is there, but there's times in life, man, where and that's just back when we talking about just a man improving himself, just understanding that, man, it's gonna be sometimes, bro, where it's some things you're going through, ain't nobody gonna understand but you and God.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
It's gonna be on too.
Yeah,
It's
like
gonna be on too. Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
nobody understand it but you and God, and that's why you do have to always make sure you're drawing back and keeping God first more than anything, because there's some things, man, Mama just can't give you advice on.
That's
Some
true.
things, Dad just don't. He don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ain't that
Yeah.
he don't. He not trying to help you. She hit her knees every night and pray for you, and he do the same. But it's just some things where you and God got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, well, God already got to figure it out, but
He
yeah,
do.
no, he know what
He
the
waiting on you to come.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, so it's more
Yeah,
so just you have to you got to go to him first more than anything. And I think when we do that, that allows us to let everything else flow when
I
it
agree.
comes to family. You
I
know what I
agree.
mean?
I
Because
agree.
now
Doors start opening,
there you go. Yeah, yeah.
opportunities start coming your way,
Yeah,
things
exactly.
like that. It really has an effect when you go to him first.
Yeah.
Not you can't go to him when always you're down and out because at
Yeah,
that
yeah.
point it's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
hey,
yeah. Because I
you
think
know,
I think a lot of times, and this is what I try to tell people, man or woman, when we go to our family sometimes, or if you go to your family for advice or something, we get frustrated with them because they don't got the answers for us.
that's true.
You know what I
That's
mean?
very much
And
true. You
and,
do.
and I tell everyone, they're not supposed to have the answers for you all the time. You know, they not gonna have the
They're
answers
there to
for you.
guide you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but that's why you go to God. You know what I mean? But like you say, they there to just to be the that foundation and to ground you and to keep you, keep you planted. But we get, I think, frustrated sometimes because we're going to people for help. You know what I
Mm,
mean? When
mm.
it's like
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of times where we always kind of say it's that, this isn't a physical fight, it's a spiritual
It's
fight.
spiritual. Yeah.
So you can't go to someone because they don't understand what's going on. I don't want you to have to help me figure my problems out.
Yeah.
Cause if you did, we both gonna be over here banging our head against the wall, going crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't need that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm gonna go to God with my problems. I know I'll
Yeah.
figure this out.
One way or
Whatever.
another.
Yeah, yeah,
One
one
way
way
or
or another.
another. Yeah, one way or
I'm gonna
another.
figure this out. You know what I mean? So it ain't that I gotta necessarily just bring it straight to you or talk to you about what's going on in my life. Is like, no, I'm gonna figure it out. Because if I told you some of the shit that I'm having to,
Same.
you know what I mean,
Same. Yeah.
like I gotta figure out on a
Yeah.
day-to-day basis and this, that, and the third, man, you would be like, man, stop calling me.
Go
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know
No, I totally get it.
you know what I
But
mean?
God not gonna tell you that
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah, you know
He
what
gonna
I
say,
mean?
"Call me again."
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
So
exactly,
he
bro.
gonna pick up.
Yeah, yeah,
I totally agree with you,
yeah,
man.
so yeah, man,
Yeah,
and so that's really what it has to be, and I think sometimes too, man, we shy away from God because everybody feel like sometimes they have to be the perfect Christian,
yeah.
and I tell everybody, I say, man, nobody perfect,
Nobody human.
yeah, and I tell everybody, I always make the argument, say, man, I don't think nobody faith as strong as mine.
Hmm.
But I do some things that I probably shouldn't do sometimes. I mean, I say I sometimes I curse a little more than I should, you know. It's just like
Yeah,
little things that I know, man, I
yeah,
probably shouldn't be doing that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
so I don't never claim to be perfect, but I tell everybody I know God. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And God knows you,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
and know it's crazy. I feel the same way.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
way where you know when you talk to God when you go through something or you don't. Like we said about improvement.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people know how that improves you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
as much as you may think that that's, like, at the
Yeah.
lowest level of improvement,
Yeah.
that's at the top of
Yeah.
improvement
Very top.
because as soon as you do it, you kind of it's like a weight lifted off your shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, the burden is taken
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're giving it to somebody because if I like you said, if somebody comes to you or you go to somebody and tell them
Yeah.
about your problems,
Yeah.
y'all
Yeah.
both gonna be banging your
Yeah.
heads.
Yeah.
So now you
Yeah.
just gave me your burden.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
bang his head. He's not gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When you go to him, he's gonna take it,
Yeah.
he's gonna filter it. You're
Yeah.
gonna get what you need to get from
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever that situation is,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna persevere
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's really like you say, if it's anything, what everything you said was on point as far as what a man needs to do to improve. But I always tell a
what would you
man,
add?
no, I always tell a man, you got to start there with your faith.
Yeah,
And
you do.
I think
You do.
everything else follows because God know how he made you.
Yeah,
He
and he
knows
didn't make nobody the same.
yeah, yeah, he ain't make
Yeah.
nobody the same. So I know at the end of the day, everything that I got going on in life, I'm blessed to have. So these problems essentially I'm still blessed to have,
Exactly.
regardless of the fact. So
Exactly.
so I already know um God put me to handle this much
He's
of
not gonna
stress and
give you
pressure, you
what's the
know?
saying? He's
Yeah.
not gonna
Yeah,
give you
more
more
than
than
that.
you can handle.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and so, why would I take my problems that's here at my capacity to someone who God said this is all I know you
I
can
wanna
handle.
give you.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Why
Yeah.
would I put this drop this
Yeah.
weight on you?
Because they're still the same too,
Yeah,
though,
yeah, yeah,
essentially, because
yeah.
this is here for you to handle,
Exactly.
and that's there for them to
That's there
handle.
for them to handle. Yeah, but
Exactly.
why would
Yeah,
I
yeah.
drop this? I can't drop this extra weight that I got on you because God,
He
you
didn't
got
intend
your
for you to
own
have
that
that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
that's what I always try to just interpret to everybody because I have people all the time, and it's not like I'm just, you know, this just day-to-day stuff that just might be going on that you have to figure out and deal with. It's like,
Mhm.
man, listen, I don't got nothing going on that's just killing me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like nothing like that. But it's like, nah, man, I'm good. Like I'm whatever I got going on, I figured out because I've been figuring it out since day one. You know
Got
what I
you,
mean?
got
So
you, got
so
you. Yeah,
so
yeah.
so and that's what I think too draws into the improvement of a man because once he does go to God and you walk with him through that first those first troubles and struggles that you face. Once you walk with him once, you realize now I can go through anything.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and that and that's what it do. That's what it does for you more than anything
Do you
as a man.
do do you think men now are shying away from that? In a sense, because and I'm not saying we're not talking about kind of going to church, paying tithes, and
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
not going too deep in it. We're more or less talking about faith within yourself in
Yeah.
order to improve yourself.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? It's a little bit separate than more of religious spew in a
Yeah,
sense,
yeah.
or kind of pandering towards a certain denomination or something. We're just saying that having faith and having a relationship with God will improve you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's not necessarily that you have to. I don't want to say. I mean, it's great to go to church. Don't get me wrong at all.
yeah.
But if you, as a man, maybe if you just don't feel comfortable like you there yet,
It's your
just
relationship.
yeah, pick your Bible up. Just pick your
Exactly.
Bible up and start reading.
It tell you everything.
Yeah, yeah. Pick your Bible up and
Yeah,
start reading, and eventually God will get you to where He wants you to be. He'll
yeah,
take you to the exact church that He wants you to be at,
yep.
around the exact people that He wants you to be around.
I,
But you
yeah,
got to start somewhere. You have to seek Him first. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so we are, in a sense, we do shy away from it because a lot of us do feel like, okay, I got to go to church.
Or we're not good enough
Yeah,
in a
yeah, yeah,
sense.
yeah. But like, nah,
Yeah.
man, pick your Bible up, start reading, start trying to get something in yourself, and eventually it guides you to where you need to go.
Yeah,
You know?
I know one time, I mean, I was doing this for a while. I would literally open the Bible randomly
Yeah,
to whatever it landed on, and I guarantee you, every time I opened it, it was spoke to me directly to
y-
whatever situation
yeah,
I was
yeah,
going through,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
was amazed just by how that affected.
yeah,
Now, I haven't read front to back, but I've read it,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
I remember when I was doing that, that was kind of a thing for me where I knew me and him had this understanding,
yeah, yeah,
or,
yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that this is speaking to me, whatever
yeah.
whatever the case may be.
Nah, for sure.
Um, do you think since we both agree that it's at the top, it's on the pedestal of improvement,
Uh huh.
do you think that society is making it more or less not prevalent? Because I mean, even when I went to church younger and went with my mom or my grandma or something like that, right?
Yeah,
I would see men in the church. I would see
yeah,
deacons, I would see my uncle or a distant cousin or something. I would see the
yeah,
men kind of, it was part of like
yeah,
this
yeah,
community in a sense of that, to
yeah.
where like we talked about, past generations, to where it was by example. Do you think now the examples are no longer there, so it's kind of a lesser than, or kind of a like
You
a
like
obsolete situation,
saying
or what?
about going to church, about men going to
Well, just
church.
having faith in general. Like, do you think that the leadership of the men that men are seeing isn't the same as kind of the men
Oh, I
we were
see what you're
seeing
saying.
in a sense?
Um, yeah,
Like
no,
my grandfather didn't like to go to church, but he
yeah,
would read it. He knew his Bible front to back.
yeah, yeah,
Certain things like that. So it doesn't have necessarily be about going to church or
yeah, no, no,
being a part of.
yeah, no, no,
Yeah.
same here. It's more so is that, man, our society has given us everything else in our face except God.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. I would agree with
we
that.
have
I would agree with that.
motivational speakers.
We do.
You know, when the only motivation they're given is the motivation
Of money.
to fuel their pockets.
Yep.
You know, so that plays a role into what's going on right now. Is that we don't even we don't have the example, but at the same time, it's not in our face. You know, the same way my grandfather didn't necessarily go to church every Sunday. My
Mm-mm.
grandmother did.
Yeah,
But this is the thing, what I always tell everybody. He watches my grandmother get up and go to church every Sunday.
yeah,
So eventually you start to ask yourself as a man or any human, what's making her get up and go to church every Sunday?
yeah.
You start to drift and go that way now, you know,
By example.
by example. And
Yeah.
so that's what the world we living in now, we drift into what we see, the examples that we
What we're
got,
being fed. Yeah.
what we've been fed. So
Yeah.
if we don't have it in front of us, you know, how do we expect to be led to it? You know, we only gonna be led to destruction or to the weakness of our mind.